All right, it is Hump Day. We are at Hump Day here, Wednesday night draft storm. And man, it's football is here. It's here big time. It was a good game last weekend we'll get into. And there's so much good football from tomorrow night till Sunday. It's like Christmas. Um, some might say it's like the Daytona 500 of college football because you might be getting a Super Bowl. They call it the Super Bowl of NASCAR. You might be getting a Super Bowl of college football in game one on Saturday. But before we get going, First Due Plumbing is our sponsor tonight. If you have clogged pipes, clogged toilet, need someone to fix the problem right, call First Due Plumbing at 412-979-5402. First Due Plumbing will fix your plumbing issues. So give them a call. Anything you need done, get that done, especially before this the cold weather and the freezing pipes and all that shit happens. So call First Due Plumbing. And of course, today we've got my boy Chris Snyder. And Snyder, we are going to get you off of here by 7:30 because you got to go do your you're doing the Swifty podcast. I'm going to talk about Travis Kelsey and oh, I'm sorry. No, you don't do that no more. No. I'm so tired of hearing that already, man. It's just everywhere. But Snyder, college football is upon us, man. They gave us a gem of a game last weekend, I thought, in Ireland. The other games were, suspect. They were what we expected, but how do you even try to describe the games coming up this weekend? I mean, you want to talk about games that can change a landscape early on. It's amazing.
Oh, this first week is, there's several very meaningful games. And Ohio State, Texas,
One versus
start the
two,
day
right
off
off the
with
bat, man. That's
freaking
unbelievable.
noontime. Oh, my goodness. That's a way to start the season.
Not even
And those are
prime
two
time, man.
teams. Those are two teams that are going to be they'll probably both be in the playoffs.
I'd almost bet my youngest child. Sorry, Grayson, but I would probably bet. I'd bet a lot on that them two teams make the playoffs. I'd almost be, unless Ohio State's young kid quarterback just struggles, but they have so much talent, man. I mean, I think
Yes.
me and you could lead them to 8 wins.
Well, I think Texas is going to win this fairly comfortably. Is the fact that it is the young quarterback, and it may take him a few games to get his feet under him. If they played later in the season, I might think differently about it. But playing first game of the year,
I think that's a good
I
take
think
on the
Texas
game.
is a favorite that probably will. I think they'll cover
Even at the
without a
horseshoe.
problem.
Even at the horseshoe.
Yes, yeah, I do.
I think you have a good point on that. That if the quarterback comes on, that's a huge. That's like, man, is that a huge first start? You're playing at
Oh,
the horseshoe against a team that has NFL talent throughout that defense, throughout that offense. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing game. I'm going to be at the Pitt Duquesne game, which you already yelled at me about. So, but I'm not going to get to see it. I'm going to have something taping at home so I can watch it later on because there's so many prospects involved in that game. And by the way, while I'm talking about that, guys, the book is out. It's on my website, www.sportsbible.com. Here it is. It's the notebook. Basically has about 600 players in there. Um, spots for other players too that I don't list. I don't have like Jeremiah Smith in there from Ohio State because he can't get drafted. But I mean, feel free to throw him in there and talk about him. But for all you newbies out there that want to be in a draft guide and get your stuff published, be a contributor, you just fill out a couple notes, send them to me each week or at the end of the year, whatever you want to do. And if I think the notes are worthy, we'll put them in because everybody has their own opinion. Me and Schneider, we've been doing this for about 8-9 years now. We realized that, man, there's times that I've been right. There's been times that you've been right. There's been times that we've both been way wrong on guys. It's impossible. I mean, I'm sure if you ask any NFL scout, any college scout, I mean, they're gonna tell you, man, I missed my share because I mean, nobody's perfect on knowing these guys. But to get back into the game, Schneider, that game last Saturday, it was Saturday, right? Yeah, the K-State Iowa State game. We were just talking about changing a landscape. I mean, that was a huge, huge Big 12 game. Did you learn anything from that? Are you a believer in Iowa State after the 24-21 win?
as of now, no. It didn't look like they have much of a passing game at all.
It revved
And
up as the game went on.
their running game was solid, and their defense was pretty good, but they just couldn't throw the ball. I don't know if it was the quarterback. I don't know if it's the wide receivers, a combination of.
Or the
But
weather.
after
The
one
weather was.
game, they got some growing to do.
I think the weather's a little rough too. For a first game to have to come out and it was raining for the most part. It was a weird drizzle for most of the game, and you saw the fumbles early on. So I wasn't. I'm still not a believer. There's one Big 12 team that I would say, yeah, I would never bet on one team and say they're going to win it. But I think Iowa State as a big win for them. I mean, K State.
Oh, that's a huge win, no doubt. That's one of the upper echelon teams in the Big 12 beating K State. So it's a nice one.
Do you have issues with teams losing ground way early in the year like this?
Come again?
Like, do you have problems with a team losing ground this early in the year? You know what I mean? Like week 0, they're already 0-1 in the Big 12. Does that matter to
You got to
you?
play them. You got to play them at some point. Does it matter early, late, middle? Still got to play them.
That's true. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, I mean, rankings mean nothing at this point. I don't care about rankings. Like I said,
these rankings anymore don't mean anything. It all comes out to the
not just who
the
wins
CFB playoff rankings that come out, November-ish.
So besides Ohio State, Texas, what is the other game that really tickles your fancy? Besides, I know you're going to watch the Penn State. You're Penn State fans. You're going to watch them beat up on Nevada.
No, I won't because I'll be watching Ohio State, Texas.
Are they on the same? They're on the same exact time.
Yeah, noontime.
You'll have to pull out a way to watch them both. But
what's the point?
You want to see Drew Wilder throw for 500 yards, don't you?
Not really.
What other game really tickles your fancy? There's some good games, man.
Jeez, I'd still LSU Clemson.
I agree.
Clemson's getting a ton of pub for being a top 3, 4, 5 team in the country.
They are. They're getting a lot of love.
I don't know if they're that good or not.
We'll find
out. This is a good test.
I'm the same way as you.
They didn't beat any SEC teams last year. They were 0-3 against them.
I'm the same way as you. I look at I know the villains. If the villains are watching out there, a couple of them guys really, really, really. I know Andrew's a South Carolina fan. He hates Clemson, but he thinks Clemson's going to win it. They got to prove it to me, man. I'm not as big. I'm not as high on K Klubnik as a lot of people in this country are. I mean, I think he's good. I think he's going to have great numbers because we already talked about this. The ACC. What are you really going to get defensively from most of these ACC teams right now? Even like Florida State's having a down year. I think this game. I want to see LSU and Clemson just see who's going to win it. It's a great quarterback. It's probably the best quarterback matchup of the weekend. You got Neusmeyer, you got Klubnik, you got the Clemson's defensive line. There's just so much talent in this game. But
no doubt about that.
And I mean, between them 4 teams right there we just named, Ohio State, Texas, LSU, Clemson, you're looking at possibly 12 to 15 first-round picks, or maybe not that many, maybe 8 to 10.
That's probably a little high this year.
I think 8 to 10 possibly, because you got the three Clemson defensive players, Klubnik, you got Neusmeyer. Neusmeyer is a guy that has to, I think, build his stock up a little bit, but you know how quarterbacks go. We can have quarterbacks right now that we think will go second day that come the first round.
He wins this game against Clemson. I think it's at Clemson too. If he wins that this first week and he plays a nice game, he's now in the conversation.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, to beat Klubnik and beat that defense, I mean, that defense is going to be. And the other thing they're really watching this game, people, is if LSU can run the ball on Clemson and then protect their quarterback in this game, that means they got some horses on that offensive line because Clemson's bringing it defensively with that defensive line. Other than that, Snyder, you got the other one. The other in our rankings, we got 7 versus 8, which is number 7 Notre Dame, number 8 Miami. I know. How do you look at this game? I've heard people say they really think Miami's going to have the year this year. I've heard other people say no. I'm sort of in the middle of that. I would be shocked I wouldn't be shocked if Miami loses 5 or 6 games. That's just the way. This Miami's that kind of team to me, but they could come out and just be with the talent they got. We got to see what Carson Beck brings to them. It's a whole different thing, a whole different way their offense will run this year. They got a couple really good offensive and defensive linemen, but what do you take out of that game? I mean, that's a unique first game of the year also for Notre Dame.
Oh, it is, because there's two highly ranked teams going head to head. That on the Miami side is the quarterback. We just said his name.
Carson Beck.
Yeah. If Beck is he any good or not? He wasn't that good last year at Georgia. And now coming here this year, was this just a bad year at Georgia, or is he just not that good? Miami needs him to be very, very good. If he's not up there, Miami's going to lose 3-4 games. I don't know if they go 5-6, but they're definitely going to lose 3-4.
And don't you? I agree with that. I agree with what you just said there. And do you agree with the fact that it's a weird feeling in college football right now? You had Kyle McCord a couple years ago, Ohio State. You had Carson Beck last year in Georgia. Is it strange to you to see these top-notch programs with quarterbacks that leave them? You know what I mean? It's a unique situation. You don't see that very often. Like usually these big time schools have their guy, a Kyle McCord. They're not gonna miss on it. But is it strange that Kyle McCord goes from Ohio State to Syracuse, and then Carson Beck goes from Georgia to Miami? It's a different landscape, isn't it?
Oh, it is. These guys, one of it's the NIL money, but then the other reason is these teams, they don't want to wait for a kid to develop anymore. They're not giving him 2-3 years to. If he can't come out and play right away, they're looking for someone else. I mean, that's what Ohio State did with McCord. They didn't give him a second chance. He was okay his first season in starting at Ohio State, but they weren't happy with it, and they told him he wasn't starting, and they went out and got someone else.
Yeah, to me, it's just like I know everything's changed, and of course the NIL and the portal and everything. It's just strange to me to see these, guys that are leading teams into the. I mean, didn't McCord led them to the playoffs, right? They were in the playoffs with Kyle McCord.
I'm trying to think back 2 years. No, they didn't make it.
Okay, they didn't make it, so that was probably the reason.
I don't think.
But Georgia did make it with Carson Beck.
Yes.
Just strange if it was a coach going to him or someone saying, "Hey, man, you're gonna have to battle for this." I'm sure they didn't tell him you're not a quarterback as much as, "Hey, you're gonna have to battle next year for your job." And it's like, why am I gonna do that?
You're driving me nuts on. Why'd you have to ask me that? I'm not sure. That was the year Michigan won, so it was Michigan, TCU, Bama, and Georgia. Those four. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just strange that to me it's a unique thing. When you see teams like that, you're used to seeing the middle, like a Syracuse lose a really good quarterback or something to go to Ohio State, not the opposite way. So it's just strange to me. It's a different feel to me in college football for that. But Snyder, once again, we've got if I can get my mouse here to work. There we go. I got my First Due Plumbing. They're here in Brentwood, here in the South Hills. Clogged pipes, clogged toilet. I've had that. We've all had clogged toilets. Yes, especially after eating our wives' dinners and your girlfriend's dinners, right, Schneider? There'd be no comment on that. No comment. Never. But you call First Due Plumbing at 412-979-5402. First Due Plumbing to fix your plumbing issues. That's Rob Mortimer, a good guy there. And there's our information down below. We're going to go take a quick commercial here with the halfway point. Guys, if you're listening in, any questions, this first week's going to be a huge week, man. Honestly, and we'll get into this more when we come back, but it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you got Belichick on Monday. right, everybody, you are watching Draft Storm. Um, Let me get Snyder back up, and we are watching Draft Storm. This is week 1 coming up, so the weeks are gonna flow a lot easier for us as the host, and that because next week we're gonna have 50 college games being played. We're gonna go over the best players we saw play, player of the week, which will be our Impact HVAC player of the week. That'll be our first one. Will be next week. We'll start next week with our Impact Player of the Week, and that's from Tony Danilo at Impact HVAC. So we're gonna honor his name with the Impact HVAC Player of the Week. Snyder, as we talked about before commercial, what makes this weekend even better? First off, it's a holiday weekend, so most people are off on Monday.
Yes.
It starts, and I'm talking like I'm gonna say between 18 and 20 games on Thursday. 1, 2, 3. That's a lot. On Thursday, you got just going through some of the halfway decent. It's not the greatest night. Thursday night's not a great night, but you still get to get revved up by and it starts at 2:30 in the afternoon. You got Boise State at South Florida. You got games from 2:30, 3:30 all the way on until Stony Brook. Or I'm sorry, no, it'd be Miami of Ohio at Wisconsin at 8 o'clock at night. So there's games on all day Thursday. Then Friday you come back. The best game of that day by far is probably Auburn at Baylor. And I know you've been a Baylor guy. You like talking about Baylor here and there, but they're playing Auburn. It's a great matchup. Week 1.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice early matchup for both teams.
It is 7 o'clock Friday night on Fox. You got Auburn at Baylor. And they start games on Friday early on in the day too, not as early as Thursday. So you got them 2 days going, and then it just warms you up. You've gotten college football underneath in your blood, and you're ready to go. And then all of a sudden, you got Saturday. You got noon, Texas, Ohio State, and you got before that, you got the sending off of Lee Corso. That's the farewell the farewell to Lee Corso. That should be a tearjerker for some people. I'm sure that I put money that Herbstreit cries. Herbstreit cries.
Oh, Herbie's going to break down big time.
He's going to break
down.
That's given. But you start off with that game, which to me, I almost sort of don't like that. I almost sort of like that should be an 8 o'clock game. I'm just saying that should be the prime time.
That part I don't argue with. But they get huge ratings out of these noon games, and they play them. So.
And here's my boy Chris. Chris, I hope I say your name right. Let me get you on the screen here. And if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I always call you Vanderbilt Chris because you're on the podcast. Chris Kuhnold. Baylor handling business, and he also has USF taking down Boise. What do you think about that, Sean? I know you like Baylor. I know you're at least last year. Last year was Baylor was your team, right?
No. I was just saying I'm just laughing at his little picture there. He has what was the name? The guy for the comedian.
That's
good.
That's the guy, the puppet guy.
Yeah, that's his Howard, whatever his name is. That's great.
He's got a Vanderbilt hat on.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Thank you, Chris, because he said just call me Vandy Chris. Thank you, Chris. I hope that was close enough. But now Chris is a great knowledge. We're gonna get him on a show too. We start doing our roundtables. We have TJ Chapman, who we had last week. Snyder. We'll start going over some of these guys. What's nice about this is Chris is a Vandy guy. We got the South Carolina guy, and Andrew. We got TJ is a Tennessee guy. You're a Penn State guy, Pitt guy. Look at that. I always think this guy's name is Geno Smith. I always think it's Geno Smith, Gene Smith. You liking it, Gene? Gene, I found out Gene through the Villains Network. Guys, what games, if you want to chew in, what games are you really interested in this week? I know Chris Vanderbilt plays Charleston Southern. You better win that game. Pitt better win their game. They're playing Duquesne. You better win your game, Schneider. That's for sure. That would you want to talk about people losing their top 5 right off the bat. That is Tim Corbin. Is that the guy's name? That Tim Corbin? Is that? I don't know if that's a puppet's name or I'm not sure what that is. But the Snyder, getting back to that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we didn't even talk about Sunday yet. Sunday has South Carolina Vautech. I think that's a unique matchup. I mean, I think Vautech's got a young coach. They got their team. I wouldn't want to play at Vautech right away early in the year.
And Vautech's probably not going to be that good either. So,
well, that's true. That's still a rough one though on the road. You better hope your team's together. I mean, Lenore Sellers, he's one of my candidates for the Heisman. He's got to come out hot there. Then you got the Notre Dame Miami game right after that. Chris likes South Carolina by 2 scores. And then after all this football all weekend, getting ready for Thursday night NFL starts during that week right after. But you got TCU at the house that Bill Belichick built. Or I shouldn't say he built it, the one that he took over. TCU at North Carolina. That's a unique matchup, man. I mean, that's like an off the wall game normally, because I mean, when's the last time you saw North Carolina in like a primetime moment like that early
I think Bill's in trouble. I think Bill's not going to be a happy camper very long.
I tend to agree with you. I think he might get a little taste, but you never know with Belichick, man. The dude will come out and figure something out there. But
and that's Waller. The puppet's Waller.
Waller
from Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. That's it. I always see Chris's his picture on Facebook, and I didn't know who that was. I knew it was Jeff. I had a feeling it was Jeff Dunham. By the way, another unique thing that's going on in the Pittsburgh area, Robert Morris plays West Virginia, Duquesne plays Pitt. Just a unique little, the four schools that sort of people talk about in the Pittsburgh area, not Penn State. I know Penn State's they rule the roast. They're the guys that go and get all the players, and then Pitt gets the scraps right after Penn State's done with them. But so Snyder, what do you think? Like the Ohio State Texas game, losing team, whether it be Ohio State or Texas, did they really take a step back or not really? It's basic. No, that's what I was going to say.
It's out of conference game. It really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
With 12 teams making playoffs anymore, you lose a big game like this, unless you get murdered, where it's 40-7 or something. It really doesn't matter. You play a competitive game against a big name team like this, whoever wins is still in good shape.
And you see,
it hurts because you get a loss. I mean, it hurts because you get a loss, but the quality of loss is not going to mean. I mean, Ohio State can still win the Big Ten. They're good enough.
I agree.
Ohio State plays Penn State and Michigan. Those are 2 big games.
And then Penn State got what? We always talk about this. They got Oregon and Ohio State. They're 2 big games.
Yep.
And while we're on the queue about that, I've seen some people, not that they're jumping on the bandwagon, but they're really starting to getting behind this team. Illinois, what do you think about Illinois? You think they
could win the Big Ten?
Really?
They don't have a tough schedule. Their schedule comes to a point where they could be a 1-loss team in the conference, and because of tiebreakers, which one of their tiebreakers is the team that won the conference the longest to go would win a tiebreaker, that would make Illinois conference champion.
I know people are jumping on them, and they have some NFL talent as well in that. And you'll find it in the Sports Bible notebook. Chris, I need your address. I want to send you one of these out, man. You watch your Vandy games. And I'm not going to put Vandy down. I know you take enough of that on the villains because they'll always be like, but I think Snyder. I think that you agree with what Chris says there. You pretty much said that early on that you really can't be sold on Julian Sains yet.
I can't. I have to see him play. If he comes out and lights Texas up, watch out for Ohio State. Because they're going to be. It's going to be. Everyone's in trouble if he lights them up. But I don't see it just being. You just don't know. You haven't seen him play against the big boys yet.
Yep.
We'll see.
And sometimes, and this might be a weird thing to say, but being at home could actually be detrimental to a young guy.
Look,
You know
if
what I
you
mean?
get
Like
off to a bad start, yeah.
that's what I mean. Because you're worried about letting your own fans down. Where you're on the road, I think you have a little bit more of like a, all right, let's go. You have more of like a gunslinger mentality. At least that's the way I used to be. I never played in front of that many people when I played baseball. And I love being at somebody's home and they had fans and stuff, and that all 30 fans. I mean, they could be 100 and some thousand, like what he's gonna be doing. But it's got to be a tough thing, man. You walk out in that field for the first time and look up there, knowing you're the guy and you got to beat the number, and ours, you got to beat the number one team in the country, man. That's got to be. It's gonna be rough. It's definitely gonna be rough. I got to figure out a way to get my laptop ready at the pick game where I can watch this game.
Now,
Because
here, just Illinois, real quick.
yeah,
They have at Indiana their toughest couple games at Indiana, USC, and Ohio State. Those are 3 tough games. The only one I'd really worry about that much is Ohio State. The others can be beaten. So,
are you? That's another good point. I'm going to see what you guys, and Chris, you can chime in too. We have 2 Chris's here because Snyder's actually Chris as well. Snyder, do you think was Indiana a 1-year wonder? Do you think that coach is going to bring them back to the same kind of? You think they're going to have the same kind of? Just they're going to be that same kind of team as they were last year. Do you think that was like a 1-year
are you
thing?
talking Illinois or Indiana?
Oh, Indiana. I'm sorry, Indiana. Do you
Indiana.
think
They brought in another quarterback who's supposedly really impressive. I think it's Mendoza or something like that. I think his name is.
Mhm.
He's supposed to be looking really good for Indiana and all the camps and practices. So if he's half as good, then they're going to be. I don't know if they'll be as good because teams won't be taking him as they had an easy schedule last year. I mean, their big game was Ohio State, and they lost to them, but that was their only really tough conference game.
he's
So
Fernando Mendoza? You got that right.
okay,
Fernando
yeah,
Mendoza. Um, I I agree with both of you. I think you see them as a 9-10 win team. I think he says 9-10. Um, it's hard though to match what you first year thing of what Signetti did last year to come back in and do that again. But we're teams, like you said, teams know now. It's you know,
yep.
it took about halfway through the year last year until people, when they were undefeated, people were like,
Oh yeah,
"Whoa,
no one believed in them. They didn't
yeah,
play
yeah,
anyone. No one believed in them.
there's
It
Indiana."
took a while.
And so I agree with that. And Chris, thank you for hooking on tonight. We got another minute here. Schneider, before I go, one game we haven't talked about, an off the wall game that you just want. You're like, you know what, this could be a neat game to watch. Don't say Alabama to Florida State, please, because I
No,
swear
because
Alabama they should destroy Florida State.
Alabama should win that easy. I'm not too worried. I will go with. I'll give you this one: South Dakota and Iowa State. Iowa State coming off the big win off a long haul coming back from Dublin. South Dakota State's a pretty good team, even though they're a smaller school, but still a solid team. And Iowa State showing no passing game whatsoever. Could be a chance for an upset there.
And that's tough. I mean, I forget they mentioned it last year. The team that traveled and they struggled all year.
Oh, Georgia Tech and someone last year, I forget.
Yeah, and they said the team struggled. I mean, they struggled for most of the year because the jet lag. People don't realize, man, it throws your whole week off. And then the thing that's crazy to me is that I would have thought that they would have had a bye week. I would have thought they would have done that. I would have thought they would have went over there, played their game, made it so they had a week off. You know, catch your breath a little bit. That's tough, man. These kids traveling overseas, probably most of them for the first time. It's got to be a little differently. Up, and then we have our. Before we go, we have to do it, Schneider. Here it is. Terry Walker, Terry, UCLA, brother. Who do they got this week? Let's look at real quick. UCLA has Utah. Woo, Utah.
That's a pretty tough opener.
Yeah, it is Saturday night.
Utah was down last year, but Utah hasn't been down very often with that Willingham, whatever his name is there.
Yeah,
they've been really good under him. So
that 10 o'clock game, dude, that's a nice one to finish off your Saturday night. So I know what Terry will be doing. Be watching some UCLA. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's a great episode. Remember, next week we're gonna have nothing but talking about the games, going over the new games, players. We're gonna have our first impact player um, of the week next week. And before we go, Chris, I'm going to give you Alabama, Florida State, Tennessee, Syracuse. Um, I like the Tennessee Syracuse game myself. I think Tennessee's. I don't think they're going to be as good. TJ, I'm sorry. I think all that stuff that happened with the quarterback leaving and just through. I don't know. I just think they may struggle a little bit. Syracuse got a little bit of talent there this year. They got talent for ACC terms, but I know Snyder knows what I mean when I say they got good talent for ACC. They're not ready to go. Nobody in the ACC besides Clemson is ready to go outside that realm. But once again, guys, thank you so much for listening in. First Stew Plumbing. If you have any plumbing issues at all, man, clogged toilet, clogged pipes, anything, man, your sink ain't working. You know, your grandchild throws her rubber duckies down the drain and they're all clogged. That didn't happen to me, but I'm thinking it's gonna happen one day. But call First Stew Plumbing 412-979-5402. Guys, thank you so much. Snyder, thank you. Chris, thank you. Everybody for listening in. Thank you, guys. Have a great one. Love college football.